Welcome to Cosmic Connections 101, a podcast by two sisters speaking about all things related to personal growth, self-love, and spirituality. Join us every episode as we discuss the secrets of the universe, energetic connections, consciousness, and navigating the 3D world with a 5D mindset. Take a deep breath in and out. Now let's get started.
Hey pod people, it's Jo here.
I'm Kel, and this is Cosmic
This is
Connections,
Cosmic Connections 101.
101.
Oh, nearly. You do such a long pause on the number.
Yeah, but you do a pause to jump in when I say Cosmic Connections. So,
Because you always say, I'm too late.
yeah, we need to be more in sync.
Oh, we're not.
Anyway, so
How about you just say it?
Today we thought that we would just talk about how we gather our information that we receive spiritually. So a lot of times you might have heard the word download or channel. So we just kind of wanted to give a bit of insight into how we receive our spiritual messages and then what we do with that info when we've received it. So,
or if you're me, what you don't do.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, so Jo, do you want to start off and just say, like, as an example, how you receive any downloads or like, even if you call them that, like if you get a spiritual message.
That's a new sort of term.
Yeah.
For this sort of
But I feel like it's a term that a lot of people can kind of understand what we're talking about. So when
it's computer stuff now.
Yeah, when a spiritual message drops in for you, what does that feel like? What do you?
Yeah, how do I know?
What happens? Yeah, how do you know it's like not you going crazy and that's a legit message? And then do you action it? Like how? Yeah, tell us your process.
Okay, well, I'll get a different. So once upon a time, the word download didn't exist because I grew up in an era without computers. And now the word download is super normal because you download a doco.
Yeah.
So the term now, I think it's really cool because it just literally means exactly what it says. You're downloading
it's a good visual. Yeah.
Yes, you can see it. It's like you press the button or the button gets pressed.
Yeah.
You're the button.
Download into your brain.
Information comes and there it is. Well, there it is. So I never used to refer to it as that because that didn't exist.
So what did you
realm.
used to?
I used to just say spirit message.
Spirit message, yeah.
Yeah, I'd just say, I just got a spirit message. I would identify it that way because the reason that I'd know is it would just drop in and I'd feel it in my body.
And it's a random thing, like
out of nowhere.
Would it be something that you're like of the same subject that you're in your mind thinking about? Just like
not necessarily.
Different? And so that's why you knew it was a spirit message?
Yeah, so I could be just, I've had it happen when I'm just like driving along or I'm at work and then I'll just get this, I would want to just go douche.
Yeah.
It's like just drops in there and it's just this very clear information.
Yeah, and so is that just in your mind or do you have a body, like is there something in your body too that kind of flags that it's a spirit message or it's just in your mind?
It's a whole body thing and I feel it kind of resonate from my heart. Right, so I feel heat there and I get a message and then I get excitement in my heart.
And so this all happens at once, doesn't it?
At one time.
Like not like one thing, then the other, then the other. It's just like boom.
It's all connected and then it'll just be a very clear, concise message. Whereas, if you've got a functional thought processing brain that we're spitting out information thousands and thousands a minute.
But everything is disconnected too in your brain. Yeah, it's like, okay, you'll
bits of info.
Think about something and then you'll feel it and then it'll make your heart hurt or it's all disconnected. When it's an actual spirit message or a download, it's
very
all
clear, very clear, very concise, very precise, very knowing.
And no doubt. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, there's no doubt.
No. And then I usually just go, huh?
Yeah.
Just do that.
And then there's that thing of like,
Yeah, and then the click happens and you go, wait, what?
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
okay, that makes sense.
And then I'll try and ask for more info, but usually it's like sometimes it used to just be one done in that moment. And then before I used to write stuff down because I'm like, I'm going to forget it.
Yeah.
But you don't forget them.
No.
That's how I know that it's that because it resonates really strong in my heart, in my soul.
Yeah.
And then it can lead me in a curious way to trying to find out more, because it's piqued my interest. It's already there or it's something that I know. And then I want to go look into it a bit more and see what other things pop up down that rabbit hole thank God for computers now. Seriously, I don't know how I used to do this back in the day.
Go to the library.
I do actually. I go to classes.
Yeah, you used to do that, huh?
Well, yeah, I do a couple of classes, or I think people then would go see readers and stuff like that. I always knew that it was just confirmation of things that I already knew myself, validation of what I know, so I didn't really need to go to them.
Yeah, but it's still interesting, to go and have a second.
I appreciate people's skills, so I always give them props, because I think it's amazing that people tap into their gifts. Because I've always not felt like I've had one.
And we have sort of, I always call her like our family psychic, Nada.
I love Nada.
We would, vouch for 100% for anyone to go get a reading from Nada, because she's amazing. So whenever I have a reading from Nada, everything that she would tell me, it's always like, I don't doubt anything that she ever says.
No. And it's stuff that you already know. She's just confirming, or it's just another little kick up the butt to remind you to get,
so always when I see Nada, like, obviously she'll tell me, all the stuff, and then it always comes back around to like, you need to lighten up and have more fun in life, because I'm a Capricorn, so it's like, don't take life so seriously.
So serious.
And then I always have this thing of life is abundant and free of all debt, like that she said that to me once, and I always remember that, because it's like, we come from that kind of poverty mindset of like, I want
shift that energy.
So it's like always those are the like things where I go see Nada, and it's like a reminder. And
it's always a reminder.
I know that. That it's like,
exactly,
you need that prompt.
And then even when you go to readings and stuff, Kel, like, it's like it hits you in your heart when it's supposed to, like, when it's the right message for you or people, like, it's the instinct. And so when you get information just even coming from spirit directly, like, I can be, remember before when I told you I was down walking by the river and it was around Halloween, and I just got instant messages from a spirit by the water that drowned. Like, mate, I'm just trying to go on a walk. Like, I wasn't like mentally prepared and shit, but in the moment, like, I just knew, and I didn't question it.
And they get excited too, though, because they know that you can see them and that you can help. So
feel it,
it's like, and so probably,
so that's what will happen to me. Like, I'll get just info just come. Sometimes I hear it as like a voice. Sometimes I'll just see it as a message.
So is this random for you? Like you said that it'll happen when you're driving sometimes or whatever. It's random. Not like you're sitting in meditation trying to get information. It just kind of pops in.
If I do a meditation, I get nothing. Truly, this is why I say when you just can nod off and can go to the cosmos in an instant, I'm like, Jesus, fuck.
It would make it easier for you to gather your spiritual info like that. This is more like,
I make me life difficult. Mine just has to hit me so that it's like a wake up call every time. I feel like I'm having an awakening moment often.
And do you think that maybe that is just the best way that you receive information and trust it? Is that it is given to you in that way?
Yep, because if, like, I've tried to
do kind of
meditations daily. I've tried to do the daily stuff and get into a habit, like, because that's what, you look anything like outside of us. That's what they tell you, to have a
daily
ritual,
meditation, yoga, all that kind of stuff.
I can't. I've tried it. It's not for me. And that's totally fine. I said, but mine happens when it's meant to happen. When I'm in the right place and time, divine timing is one of the things Nada always says to me. That's when I'm meant to have it. So that's what I just trust. And it's happened all across my life at that time, like that way. I'm just more aware of it now. But a lot of mine are also just, like I told before, like waking up from sleep when I'm in the semi unconscious, conscious
sleep.
I'll get stuff that way, plus in dreams, and just things pop in. And then mostly I will action stuff, but when it's about me personally, like, Jody, you're a teacher, you're a healer, you're a this, you've got to help your ancestors. They want you to do this, they're behind you. That's when I go, that's scary. Who am I? Imposter syndrome,
exactly.
So that's why now, like, when, deciding to do this, giving myself a voice that I never necessarily, I only keep it sacred for special people in my circle, usually. Now it's like, trusting, they've been pushing me to this as well.
And it's like meant for, to come across the path of anybody who is meant to hear it. So it's like you've lost control of who the audience is. You're putting faith that it's going to reach the right ears instead of just the ears that you're talking to.
And the reason that I do have to listen and pay attention is because it will literally shut my body and brain down if I do not follow my path and my truth.
And you've noticed this year as well, like how, I was going to say how I went through it last year, but you're having to go through it this year of the I'm calling it like the redo energy. It's like, okay, you have a chance to redo the thing that you ignored the last time. And at the start of this year, it was very much a redo energy where it's like stuff that you suppressed last year is coming up for you again, but this time it's worse because it's impacting you physically. And it's like you can't ignore it now. So you really need to redo and listen to these messages and take them serious. Right. Because it's for your greatest good, Yeah, exactly.
So this is how it can take me years and years. I'm a slow learner, what can I say?
And you're not unique in that, that's a lot of people where it's like, you just, it's
I chose to ignore it.
It's coming from, a place of like just uncertainty and fear and comfortability and all of that sort of stuff,
Yeah, the more healing I do on myself, like with counseling, with like meeting my own inner child and different parts of myself that I'm
healing.
Teenager. Oh yeah, my little wild inner teenager that I never got to do in real life. But it's like all of those parts that I'm healing, thanks Teal Swan and Kel for lending me the book, the shadow work and all the stuff that you deny. And I wasn't about feelings. I just, survive and push through things and I'll just deal with it by myself.
Yeah.
Now it's that world where there's no strength in that. It's not for me anymore. I have to be open and honest, release
and vulnerable.
Vulnerable, the scary word. But now it's like, your love is the answer for everything. You got to love yourself and you've got to listen because your body shuts down when it tells you're not on the right path. It's going to fuck you over. And I don't want to be in sickness. I want to be in wellness. That means following all the things that I know ever since I was younger I'm supposed to be doing and I've been too scared to. So now that's why I know I'm at the place I'm meant to because things are just going to fall into place and I feel happy, even though now I'm jobless.
And
so, yeah.
You're not jobless.
But I've never been happier.
You're putting faith in the universe that the right things will come into path that's in your higher alignment.
That's right. I know I'm supposed to be working in some type of healing and health and women's.
And it's completely, like it's inspiring that you're taking a leap of faith because it really is trusting the universe and submitting to your spiritual calling. That takes a lot of courage and guts. A lot of people don't do that, It's a scary thing to just let go
of the control.
See what happens. Yeah. And it's like it takes a lot of bravery to just be like, all right, well, this isn't right for me. I don't know what is right for me, but I have to let this go to find the thing that is right,
to close the door to let the new one open and just trust self.
And at the moment, like your whole world is about that, is about these downloads that are dropping in for you and you listening and following and just saying like, yes, this is yes,
even though,
yes, this is a yes, this is a no, and it's as simple as that. At the end of the day, it's like, does this feel right? Yes. No, like go that direction or avoid that direction, and that is like at the essence what we all need to be doing because that is our higher self and our spirit speaking to us. And it's like a compass. It's like that is our direction that we're supposed to go. So you're doing that. You're a living example of like listening to these downloads that are dropping in and trusting that you're doing what you need to be doing.
Yeah, you got to step through the fear. Like any of the breakdowns are breakthroughs. The dark's always got, I'm just waiting for even though I'm in the unknown, I still feel comfortable and positive and optimistic because I'm just trusting the universe, trusting myself. I know I'm going to land exactly where I need to because I'm taking the chance that I have denied. 2 years ago, this happened. Remember, Kel, when you were here with me?
Yeah.
And I denied it and I talked myself into staying at my workplace and like all these things that I know wasn't right 100%. And I just kept pushing through it. And then it happened again, but more hardcore. So it's like, if you don't listen, we'll show you.
The redo energy comes back around and it's a bitch.
That's it. So I'm like that's how I'll get my information. And, I know what I'm supposed to do. Like I've listened, I've heard it, I've written about it for a very long time. It's just, I've been scared to action.
You'll read something that you wrote like 20 years ago. It's like, God, I'm so clever. Why didn't I listen to myself back then? And it's the same stuff that we're tapping into now where it's like,
my old journals like some of my old journals, Kel, I've got stuff like from 19. The stuff that I'm talking about is so elevated.
Yeah.
When I read now, like it's very knowledgeable now, but when I wrote it back then, I'm like, fuck.
And you didn't have the internet, you know, you didn't have YouTube, so you didn't stumble across this knowledge unknowingly.
And then that's
so
why I think
you've been receiving these, like, you know, kind of
all the
high
time.
frequency, downloads and drop-ins forever, and you just,
And I'd write it,
sit on it.
Sometimes even when I'd create art, it'd feel like it's not me. I feel like I'm being guided.
Channel.
And doing all that stuff. And I didn't even know what channeling was.
Yeah.
And then the artwork stuff, I'd go, well, especially in blackfella artwork, right? So everyone's like, oh, it's got a really deep meaning and da-da-da. Like sometimes that wouldn't be how it worked for me.
Yeah.
I would just
express yourself on a page.
And then I felt obligated to go back and try and figure out a story for it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. This is what I felt.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to have some big, deep, meaningful thing. It's just expression.
Yeah.
It's just letting it flow. Because, you know, all the creative juices, they have to come through you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's another way that, you know, a lot of people receive their information from spirit is via channeling as well. And so channeling can come in a lot of different ways. Like you said, Joe, through artwork and
music, writing.
Yeah, it comes through meditation. And also like you know, I can tap into the collective energy quite easily, and I just receive these channeled messages, and it's sort of stuff because I mean we could go into all of my like astrology because you know that's my thing where I you know
next.
if you know like just how you know my birth chart is made up. It's like, you know, I don't necessarily feel my own emotions as easily as other people do, but I can tap into the collective emotions and energies really easily. And so, you know, for me, I am more of a channeler in that way. And I do have spirit messages drop in the, like, you know, how you do too, Joe. But I feel like I get more of my deep thinking and, you know, like those prompts via channeling, and especially if I'm in deep meditation, which is funny because you said like you just can't get there.
No. This is why I think, you know, we've incarnated as siblings.
Yeah.
Because see, all of my stuff is very of the earth. You know what I mean? Like I'm
just like raw, intuitive kind of, you know,
just foundation stuff.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that's what I think is the purpose: the connector, the foundation, the base knowledge.
Yeah.
The deeper, like in the earth realm. I said, even though like I'm totally aware of all the other ones, I go, even when you're talking about, you know, what you were just saying then about consciousness and how you can tap into the consciousness of the. What did you say? Did you say
collective consciousness?
Collective.
Yeah.
See me, I can do the earth.
Yeah.
Through the song lines and stuff. But
and see, that's interesting because the way like
I can't do above it.
I tap into the collective energy via the Christ consciousness grid and the grid of the earth. So it's like
around the
different.
earth.
Yeah. It's like if you think of it in a technical sense, it's like a literal light grid around the earth. That's what I see. And so, you know, for you, it's like,
I see the song lines in the earth. So mine are represented in the trees, in the mountains. You know, when I've traveled overseas, I can feel that earth's energy, the trees, the ley lines, all the special stuff there physically.
Like
what you're calling the grid lines.
Yeah.
Right? I see them and feel them in the earth.
Yeah. It's such a spin out to talk about the difference. Yeah. Because for me, if you would imagine like a literal grid, like lines, you know, like
crisscrossing.
Yeah, like in maths, you know, like cube square, like, you know, all these lines, like literally, I can see that over the ground. And then it's the same in above the earth. So if I astral travel, for example, and I'm above the earth looking at the consciousness grid, it is a grid that goes all around the earth that is all of these boxes, this square. And so at the center of all of, you know, where these boxes connect, it's like a light point, and that is where you do
vortex
charging, like energy work and stuff like that. If I'm doing a healing. So it's like, you know, for me, I see it as a grid. And you obviously, see it as like the song lines, and it's the same thing, but
the vortexes.
It's a different
mine's
energy
working from Earth.
Yeah.
And yours is above Earth.
Above it, yeah. And it's also, it's like,
and further beyond, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's also like, connecting to, the galactic kind of stuff. And it's like drawing in energy from the galactic center and charging and everything like that. But, it's
all
like
dimensions and
and
galaxies.
It's so, so for me, cool. Yeah. So for me, that because I'm connected to that energetic grid, I can easily feel what the collective are feeling, even though for me personally, it's not what necessarily I'm going through. So it's good. Like now that I have discernment around that, where I know, okay, in my personal life, everything's fine, but there's this other part of me where I can feel this unrest or anxiety or something. I might feel
connected to everything.
Yeah. And so I know, like, okay, there's nothing in my life that I'm actually sad about. So this is what the consciousness is feeling. And then I'll tap into that a little bit more. And it really helps me that, to pay attention to the astrology, because it makes sense then.
Yeah. It's like bigger cosmos stuff in playing out on Earth in majority. Exactly. So when you say like the consciousness, right? So you're feeling, is it like an average? Like, let's do the maths thing. So obviously if we calculate all the people, everyone's feeling all different sorts of things. So it's like the average.
Yeah.
If you tally it up, the average feeling is this right now.
Yeah. And it's like, there's the best way that I can describe it is kind of I reckon everybody would be feeling it, but it would be displayed in a different way in their personal life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if the general feeling I said the other day that the general feeling at the moment is more like a purge and like a go forward motion kind of thing, like because we are in Aries season now. A lot of people will feel that in different ways of their life. So for you, it's showing up in your work, and same as our cousins, it's like in their job.
Changing jobs.
Purging, old
clothes.
Old in with the new, new wardrobe, new haircuts and stuff like that. So for other people all around in this collective consciousness that I'm talking about, it might display as, okay, I need to clean out the fridge, like just little things like that. But it is just that underlying energy. They may not be aware of it. And that's what the driver is, but because we are all one, I know it's like a cliche, but we're one.
We're all made up of the same
collective consciousness. Yeah, so we're all tapped in. So this underlying energy will show up for everybody, and that goes from little kids to grown adults and stuff. Like it just displays differently in their life. So for a little kid, it's like they might be
want to get rid of certain toys.
Yeah, or just be really like going skits and like want to be running around and have all this extra energy to burn, and the parents are like, oh god, give me a break. But they're just really connected into the energy that is in the consciousness. And so because the grid is both on the earth and above the earth, there's all that space in between where this energy is just spread out to everyone, and everyone's connected.
It's just the torus recirculating, moving.
Exactly.
Same. That's why we talk about elevating consciousness. We're talking about that.
Yeah, because we're all impacting each other.
Lifting the energy. That's right.
Yeah.
So do you see stuff in color, or is it
like
just a word, like feeling?
So with the consciousness grid, I see it as being blue. I have seen it as purple before, the one above the earth. I forget why at that time. I think it was like the violet light. It was a lot of twin flame energy stuff coming through, and I did see that as purple. It was like a purple bright light. But for every day, the grid around the earth is blue, and I just connect that into Christ consciousness. Like that's an angelic color to me. So that's why I don't know if it's the same color for everybody, but that's just how I see it.
But didn't you say
blue?
Me, I don't really know the archangel stuff, but was it Michael that you said is the blue one that Colin and you talked about?
Yeah, Archangel Michael, he is known as, like that's his color, is blue. Like all of the angels have different like kind of colors where people, if you're meditating and you see the color, they just know like that's
blue is what Michael. You see around the grid.
So, but it's like a different kind of color. It's like a light blue, not a teal,
different hue,
but it's like a light blue. Like, it's like the energy, you can't, there's not really a color. It's like an iridescent
It's got a
multicolor.
different glow to it.
Yeah, like in human eyes, like we were saying,
that's it.
like
With the
I
eyes
see
that
it
you're
as
looking at.
blue, you know.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and so like for me, when I receive information for the collective consciousness, that often I can just channel. Like I'll just talk about it and it comes out of nowhere. But if I'm looking for information for me personally, I need to go into meditation for that to receive downloads from my higher self. And then that for me is more of a ritual and a process. I can't just like, yeah, I have times where if I am just driving and something will pop in, but for me, I have more of a revelation when I'm sitting in meditation, intentional meditation.
Yeah.
And then it kind of the dots connect. And because of how deep I can go in my meditation, it is also like a hypnotic state where I am conscious, but also not of my body. So I'll have real physical reactions to stuff in meditation. Like I'll cry or I'll can say something out loud. I'm just like, oh, okay. Yep. I understand. Yep. It's like I'm pulling information from somewhere, like someone's talking to me and I'm just like comprehending it, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'll be like, oh, yep. Okay.
Yeah, it's confirmation. It's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That happens to me too. Like when
it's kind of funny.
like you're having a convo. But
convo with yourself. Yeah, your higher self.
Like,
yeah.
Noted. Isn't it wild? I'm sure like lots of people have all different types of ways that they receive info. Obviously, that's the main way of getting your sort of, you call them downloads, don't you? Because that's exactly what they are.
Yeah, but more so now I moved into like channel, like saying the word channel, because like if it's, I don't know, I feel like I'm channeling information more than I'm receiving information for myself. But I think that's going to change like tomorrow, because that's when, you know, on the pattern app, that's when my next cycle kicks in.
That's right, because you're without cycle for now.
Yeah. So, you know, like, from tomorrow.
Who are you even?
I know. Well, I had to go through a lot, so I needed a downtime, you know. That's why I haven't really been receiving my own personal drop-ins, because it's like I'm in rest mode. So tomorrow, but I don't know when tomorrow will be when this podcast comes out, because today is like the 25th of March. So
we're doing multiples.
By the time this comes out, I'll have been in that cycle for a while. So
for a month.
Yeah.
Probably. Because, you know, we started going, we'll just do one episode today. And I think we've done 5.
Yeah, this episode 5. We're on fire, like Aries.
It was it's been super fun, but it's interesting because I don't know if we ever really go into talks either. No. Like we sort of generally know about each other's stuff, but like it's a good learning thing for me too, to hear about your stuff, and then even just clarifying my own, and just knowing that that's what works for me and yours is what works for you, but we're still always open to expansion, because it does shift and change.
Yeah.
But I think it's so balanced. Like, this is why I love that we can have these chats, because like I said, as above, so below. And I'm like, it's just super balanced.
And it's like, cool. You know, for us, it's both like, that's a good analogy, because, you know, you're very grounded and of the earth, and my work is more like on the grids above the earth, and, you know, as above, so below. It's like the work that I'm trying to do to balance everything out up there, you're doing down here. So
I think in my, like when you do the astrology chat, I think that should be next, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I think I don't really have a lot of earth in my signs.
No, you don't.
I don't feel like that's why I feel like I always have to be fully in earth.
Yeah.
Even when I do artwork, I don't know if I told you this. In my artwork now, I always put ochre in it as my base foundation to ground it.
That's cool.
So well, we should talk about
astrology next then.
Oh, 100%, because then you can go into all of these things, and it'll be you in your merry little world, because I love the idea. I understand it. It's so valuable. Yeah. I don't know shit.
Okay. Well, I'm excited then.
I can't wait to hear more. Like, I hear it a lot, but now it's like sharing in a different way I'm learning stuff every single episode already.
I know, it's fun.
Then we have,
but I also want to learn from you guys what kind of ways you receive spiritual messages, and what you even call them. Do you call them downloads? Are you a channeler? Are they just spirit messages or drop-ins? And how you receive them, how often you receive them, and is it a full body thing like Joe, where it's like you just know, or I want to hear more about how you receive
action stuff quickly.
Yeah. How long does it take?
Straight away?
Does it take 20 years?
Do you try and, do you deny it for a while? Mate, I'm getting a lot quicker now because never again am I gonna. I don't want no burnout. I don't want to feel brain fog. It's like, nah, trust the process. I know that I'm gonna be caught in the wonderful web that is the universe that's always got me back.
And you wouldn't have these messages sent to you if they weren't for your greater good. Yeah,
that's right. And not only just for me, it's like as soon as I'm healing, other people heal. So
you
it's
heal
for all of us in your collective
group.
consciousness.
Yeah,
that's right.
The soul group.
Oh, this was fun.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Kel, for sharing.
Thanks, Jodes.
That was so cool.
Thank you for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you the next episode. This podcast has been made with love, from our hearts to your ears. Thank you for listening to Cosmic Connections 101.